Welcome to Yalpelor, chaotic D&D order. We've a Death Knight, half-rock body, Bubble-mancer, and a wide-eyed summoning too. Questers of Yalp, don't you dare leave this stream. Questers of Yalp, this intro song takes forever. Wherever you are, near or far, we're the questers of Yalpelor for you.
Welcome, dear viewers, to Questers of Yalpelor. Questers of Yalpelor is a weekly online improvised adventure game comedy show. My name is Itamar, I'm your host and game master, and I've gathered four hilarious improvisers and actors from all over the world to travel through the lands of Yalpelor with me. With us tonight we have Matt playing Grubble Bumblin Esquire, a quarterling bubblemancer desperately seeking to reclaim his family fortune. We have Jada playing Triss, a nebulous summoning who's only recently gained sentience, now gleefully exploring life in Yalpelor with their new friends. We have Talia playing Aklis Darkmoor, traveling Death Knight with an ancestral sword and lots of family history. And still on a break, Trent, who usually plays Dirt Hotbelly. His father is an angel, his mother is a volcano, and he's 100% half rock body. Now, there's still more to go of this intro, as our longtime viewers know, but before that, I want to say that, unfortunately, in the last two episodes, there were some audio problems where my voice was fine, but all the players had like weird echoes, and it were all like the volume was lower because the audio channel was configured weirdly, and I didn't even notice it. So I want to tell our viewers right now, if anyone notices that there's any audio issue during tonight's episode or anything else, especially if I sound very different to the players, because it's two different channels coming in OBS, please say so right away. And now there's a glitch, and I'm glitching. There's a glitch in the thing.
Blame Itamar. Blame Itamar.
God, what was that?
If all the sound goes wrong, it's Itamar's got it wrong. Blame Itamar.
It is
Blame
probably my
Itamar.
fault. But now, okay, now we're back. We're back. All right, cool. There was a short glitch, or a longish glitch, much more than usual. We sometimes have one, but this one was longer than I'm used to. Anyway, I was just saying, technical issues. That was what we were talking about before the
Blame it on
glitch.
Itamar.
When you notice anything wrong with the audio, please say so right away. We won't blame you. It's my fault almost always, or some piece of software. So definitely no one with emotions, no one with feelings that can get hurt. In any case,
It's either Itamar or a machine.
exactly.
So it's no one with feelings. Is
No
what
one
you're
that you
saying?
should be worried about offending
Oh, okay.
or hurting.
Mishidamar.
Wow. All right. So we just introduced our players.
Robomar.
We just introduced our players. I think most of you already know this, but I will tell you that these
I
players are here.
screwed up. It's Robotamar. Sorry, carry on.
Robotamar.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, my bot
Not
name.
Robomar. I'm missing out far too much of your name. Robotamar. Continue,
Or the
Robotamar.
Termitamar.
All right. It's gonna be so weird to keep going with the intro after that.
Androidamar.
Cyborgamar.
As most of you already know, the players are here to play their characters through these adventures that I half write, half improvise for them. But they're not just here to do that. I have specifically asked them to create chaos and confusion in the game, to play
Like
other
we're already
characters,
doing.
Introduce other scenes, do it even while I'm introducing the game.
Yes.
And just go ahead with shamelessly destroying every little piece of the game that I've painstakingly prepared, and they've been doing it. So thank you, players. And I
In its artful destruction.
yes,
Come on.
exactly. It's exactly the right way. So that's part of the purpose of the game. It's improvised a comedy game, so expect that to happen. And when we start playing, you can also influence the game. Use your XP that you gain from being in the stream and watching the show to use commands. These commands are in the title of the channel, and down below you can see the commands that you can use. There's some instructions there. The game system that we're using is Macchiato Monsters. It's an old school game in the style of D&D that I really like. And we're using assets and creations by all sorts of awesome people, fans and artists from all over the web. If you're interested in any of the images and sounds that you're seeing on screen, on Scream, stroll down below to see. Did you get what I did? To see the full list of awesome creative people, and you can check their stuff out for yourself. All right, I think we're done with my part of the intro. It is time for a word from our sponsor.
I wrote a little script for myself, and I'm playing two parts.
Wow.
So hopefully you can tell the difference between part A and part B.
Can one of them have a French accent?
Or can one of them have a Scottish accent where you're trying to be dirt?
Oh, sure. I'll do French and Scottish. Oh, zut alors. My life sucks. Why? I'm just not as strong or as dexterous as I'd like to be, and I feel like my constitution is low. Have you tried leveling up? No. What is... Let's go mixing. No, what is that? Well, if you go out into the world and you murder horrific monstrosities, at a certain point, from 1 second to the next, you'll suddenly feel healthier. You'll gain new skills, like medicine, sacre bleu, and you'll become more charismatic. Amazing, incroyable. And you'll get to choose new weapon specialities. Huh? Leveling up! Destroy the monsters!
That was brilliant. Thank you so much. I loved it.
It would have been much worse if I hadn't done terrible accents. I think you upped my game, so thank you, team.
Yeah.
That's what Talia and I are here for, upping everyone's game.
Big improvement.
It would have been so much worse. Apparently my accent is Skench.
Personally, I liked Frottish.
Oh no!
Frottish.
I didn't even see Frottish.
Yeah, Frottish is better. Frottish, it evokes.
Although if you're gonna go with S starting, I think it has to be Sconch. Do you speak Sconch or Frottish? Well,
Frottish. All right. Perfect. Thank you very much, Matt. That was very well done. Try leveling up, everyone. And you just did. At the end of the last episode, you gained a level 5, which is very cool. You're like well on your way to becoming very powerful beings, and already have a lot of abilities and cool stuff that you can do. Some of you have so many abilities. I need to reduce the font in your boxes and your character descriptions even further, so our audience is probably completely unable to
don't
read.
police our boxes.
I gotta. I must. Oh shit! I need to look. I need to even zoom out even more for the whole thing. Look at that. It's all even smaller now. So if somebody's trying to read Triss's abilities, the abilities that Triss can do next to the stats, it's completely impossible by now, I think, to read the full complement of what Triss can do with their special abilities.
It's because Jada doesn't care about hit dice.
But also, the audience doesn't need to know. They just,
You have to just enjoy, man.
Just wait for it to happen, then you'll know.
Exactly. Just experience it. Just experience it as it happens. So,
Wait for it.
Huh? Well,
Legendary.
Yes. They hit harder, can run longer, and do cool things that they couldn't do before because they murdered a lot of innocent animals in their own habitats. So
Hey! Triss killed one giant crabkin, and suddenly that had nothing to do with us leveling up, sadly, actually. So.
Yeah, but I mean, we don't even get XP for killing things. We just
I
kill them for
planted
fun.
something. I planted death life.
My commercial was clearly way off.
Jeez.
This game is about, like, actually, the real Macchiato's game system would have been a much healthier commercial. Like, if you want to level up, achieve goals in your life.
That's so true. Man. Get
Because I think
things
it's
done.
Next
Too
time.
close to the truth.
Level 6. We'll do a do-over.
So the goals is actually an important point because tonight's episode is going to be the last where you're in Emag, the capital city. You're going to leave to your next quest. Maybe even during tonight's episode, we'll see how long you'll take because there were a couple more things you needed to do. Two things I remember. I'd like to like do a little refresher on the things that you still want to do in Emag. One was take care, so to speak, of Wilk. And then the other one was to speak to Drillium that you haven't met since you came back. There were some other potential things you might have wanted to do. I wonder if one of you remembers another task or something that you wanted to do in Emag, in the city.
Yeah. Talk to Timothy about his feelings.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sure.
About
Maybe
his
even
feelings?
share a beer, go out for a drink. You were talking about that, right?
Yeah, we did discuss going back to his local.
Yeah.
In fact, we had said we very much wanted to see more effects of Honeymead / visiting up with our French waspy friends.
True,
To
alright.
see if we were going to get kicked out of a bar again.
Cool. So, beer / mead or other cool drinks at Hornetta's in a short hop from home, the local bar in Banner Hill. So that's going to be the third thing. You don't have to do it in order, of course, but that's part of the list. So
Let's get drunk
yeah,
fast.
we begin tonight's game after you've left the.
Jack's hammer.
Oh yeah, Jackhammer was the last. Yeah, Jackhammer was the last stop that you were in.
Yeah.
You
He's
again.
alive.
You again left your armor there to be fitted, Aklis, which means that you are wearing your chainmail. You're covered head to toe with so most of your body is covered by the chainmail that you wear underneath the plates, and then you can have. I'm guessing you have stuff on your body as well, covering it as traditionally, but it's not the plates of armor right now.
Yeah. I'm not walking around totally naked.
Yeah. So.
Unfortunately for y'all.
What is it like? The helmet is still on because you can still keep the helmet, and other than that, you wear like what, gloves, boots? What is it? What does it look like?
Yes, gloves, boots, what's it called? The padded thing that you wear under the armor. I got one of those.
Like a gambasson.
Yeah, that's the word.
A gambas.
And
Yes.
The pants. I probably have pants.
Pants in the British sense of the word, or in the
All senses of the word.
All the pants.
Yes.
every
Many pants. In fact, under the armor, it's all pants.
and under each pair of pants is another pair of pants.
Yeah, it's pants all the way down.
There's no legs. It's just all pants. All right. Cool.
We
So
learn things.
Cannon.
still.
I mean, all of Aklis's new hit points suddenly make a lot of sense.
Still just as covered as before, just not as well armored until tomorrow morning when you're going to pick up the armor and leave the city. It's still like midday. You can go do whatever you want. You have a while before the sun goes down. What do?
Oh wait, I don't remember if I did this or not, but I had the witch's cauldron, which I wanted to find out what it does.
Yeah, so you went to Sparky Watt earlier, and the answer there is that it's not his field. Either an artificer, someone who's very good with magical items, or a witch who uses this kind of thing, or just a very powerful wizard.
Okay.
Yeah.
Guess I'll try to find one of those.
Yep.
Okay, let's what are we doing now?
Well, if you'd like to go find an artificer, maybe we could do that first, because I thought maybe like seeing Drillium might be quite fun. Let's get all the work out the way first. Maybe Drillium will come along for drinks. Who knows?
Do we know
I can help
where
you find an
Drillium is?
artificer.
Well, what's his name? Mr. Seneschal, the Chesterling, told us he had a room somewhere in the palace, but not exactly which room. I'm kind of hoping Timothy Guardsman will just show us the way. Or, Will Garder, or Security. All of our guardsman friends that we're accumulating.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll meet a brand new guardsman and name them. Find out their name.
Okay. So to the palace it is.
Well, I know, I was saying artificer first.
Yeah, I'd like to find can we ask Jack if he knows any artificers?
Any artificers? Sure, I'm sure he will. He deals with antiques, among other things, antique weapons and armors. So an artificer will seem like a reasonable connection for him. Which neighborhood, which district is this artificer going to be in? Is it like an upscale joint?
I think artificers probably make quite a bit of money because it's a combination of technology and magic. It's quite a rare skill. It'll probably be Banner Hill, wouldn't it?
Right.
Likely.
Okay, so on Banner Hill,
Seesaw could probably tell you the name of one.
Oh, can she? Oh, excuse me. Just before we leave this shop, could you happen to know the name of an artificer? Maybe a nice one on Banner Hill.
Oh, a nice one. Well, I suppose you could go see Padlock.
Is it short for Patrick?
With a D.
With a D, like Paddy.
Padrick.
Exactly.
It's short for Padrick.
Padrick.
Yeah.
Padrick Lock.
All right.
Thank you, that'd be great. And Grevel gets directions from Seesaw.
Okay, let's just make sure that we have all this written down.
I had
as
one
we-
idea, guys. Just one.
Padlock, whose full name is Padrick Lock.
No, but it's not one word, and it's Loche.
Oh.
Yeah.
Padrick Lock.
C-H-E, okay.
Pad.
What can I say? You inspired me with some good old Scots.
Padrick
And
Lock.
then added an E to make it look Scots.
Artificer living in Banner Hill. Cool. So you get instructions, and you can be there quite shortly.
Oh, look! We've arrived!
Yeah, you're there. The front of the artificer's shop, who's also his home. He lives on the second floor, above the ground floor, which is his little shop. There's the walls are covered in pretty old things like antiques, but they have been built like somehow set into the wall in all kinds of weird angles. Some of them jutting out, some of them seem like half sunk into the stone. Somebody did a good job taking all these random objects. Most of them look quite random. Pieces of furniture, tools, and weapons, and just setting them into the wall as decorations. And that all surrounds like the big door that leads inside with the sign that says this is Padlock's artificer shop.
Is
Ironically-
it shop with two P's and an E.
It is, yeah.
Ironically, the door is open.
I walk in.
All right. You walk in. A rolled-up carpet unrolls itself as you place your boot. Like the first step you do in the room, you make in the room, and it just unrolls and creates a path in the middle of the shop. Some objects that have been piled on display like little ornamental like tables put up for display. They just move aside on their own. The tables just roll and like jingle a little bit on the floor, and there's like jingling from all the objects on top of the tables as they move, and they clear a path along the path of the carpet to both sides.
Well, this is very fancy. I've heard of
A
stuff
red
like this.
carpet.
It's it's a dark red, like a dark wine red. Yeah.
I feel like we're being welcomed as guests.
Triss is just staring around from the top of Atlas's shoulder because there's this like very like fascinatingly like pretty teapot, and then this little tiny teacup with a little chip in it, and
There
they're
you
sort
go.
of slowly waddling away. It's very adorable.
Yeah. A voice can be heard from the counter at the far end of the shop, and it's a little muffled. It sounds something like, "Hello, How may I help you today?
I walk towards the voice.
All right. A target dummy can be seen there. Exactly the kind of target dummy that you see on training grounds for soldiers and guards. It's been mounted in the place where the shopkeeper or the salesperson would be in a shop, like right behind the counter. And it slowly turns around and turns towards you. It doesn't really look at you, but there is like a face painted on it. A weird, grotesque face that's supposed to look like some kind of monster or evil person, like a demon or something. And it goes again. How may I help you? Are you looking for anything in specific?
I'm looking for Mr. Locke.
Mr. Locke is here to help you. At your service.
Oh, you're Mr. Locke.
Yes, indeed I am.
I see. Hello, my name is Atlas Darkmoor, and I came across a magical item which I don't know how to use. So I thought perhaps you'd be able to tell me what it does, and well, that's pretty much it.
Sure thing. How about you let me take a look at it? If it's something I'm going to be able to do at a glance, I'll just do it for you. If not, I'll research it and charge you some money.
Does the training dummy have clear eyes?
Yes.
Todd? Yes, okay.
Yes, they're big and they're slanted as if it's like angry, and there's the eyebrows are like red flames.
Angry eyes?
Yes.
Triss is probably like starting to lean as far forward as possible, still waving. But has not said anything because they've remembered Aklis's whole like stop interrupting all the time speech. So they're just big eyes and waving and just like clearly almost like, you know when you see little toddlers dancing because they have to pee but they don't want to leave yeah, it's that.
All right. Are you on the counter as that happens or on the floor?
No, I'm on Aklis's shoulder.
Oh, on Aklis's shoulder. Cool.
I take out the witch's cauldron.
Mm-hmm.
I put it on the counter.
Yes, yes. He seems completely unperturbed by your behavior, Triss. There's no actually.
I'm just looking at how close Jada is to the camera.
There's almost no acknowledgement that like this is all happening, because there's also no facial expressions except for the angry, like mean expression on the dummy. Yes, this is quite a powerful magic item.
Oh.
What does it do exactly?
All right. Let me tell you exactly what it does.
Oh, we're gonna get a bit of text.
So, he will be able to tell you some of it right now. But it is the kind of
But
thing that
you mean you're not going to keep up with the voice through the muffled mask while you tell us?
No, I'm definitely going to do that.
Exposition.
I'm definitely going to do that. So he, the target dummy leans forward a little bit until it thunks on the counter, on the corner of the counter. You see that there's a little groove across the dummy below the face where it usually when it looks down, it just leans on the counter and bumps against it a little bit, and it pauses for a few seconds. It really doesn't look as if the face is looking down at the cauldron, right? The face is looking above it and about like at your stomach level, Aklis. This is like where the eyes, like the dead painted eyes, are just looking randomly in a random diagonal direction downwards. But it pauses for a few seconds. And then it says, yes, this cauldron has more than one tower. I can tell you what it does, but some of the research will take me a few hours. So,
can you tell me what you know right now?
This is intended to cook animal flesh, meat, to create stews that have power in them. You can gain this power from eating the stew. And the power depends
magical
on the animal.
stew.
Yes.
I see. Right.
So, like, you gain the power of those you defeat.
Yes, although it doesn't seem to care how you came across this flesh.
Right. Okay. Understand.
Oh, so this isn't like one of those eat someone's heart and get their power sort of thing.
Where did you hear about that, Triss?
I read it in a book one time.
And what do you know? What type of powers one might gain from eating those stews?
Whoever did that was very skilled at mimicking animal powers.
Right.
They obviously intended for animals to be cooked in this pot.
I see. Would you be interested in purchasing this item if I were to sell it?
It leans back. There's something creaking, like it stands on some kind of pivot or something. There's something. There's some kind of low screech from something that hasn't been oiled in too long. As it leans back and then so-called looks back up at you, and he says, "Yes, I might after I'm done researching it. But if I research it and I'm not interested, I will still charge you some gold coins."
I see. In that case, well, I don't know. Grubble, are you interested in this item? Is there
To
any
keep
point in
it?
keeping it?
No, I don't think so. Not from what we know, but we'll wait until maybe we pay him to have a little investigation, and then when we come back, we find out what the other aspect of it does. But at the moment, doesn't sound like a thing we need to keep carrying around.
But
Alright.
don't forget, Honey and Herman might want it. They like magic things.
That's true.
It's true, but we might get more money for it here.
Oh, is that more
s-
important?
It might be. Mr. Locke, how long do you think it would take you to research this?
Until the end of the day today. Come here a little before sunset.
And should we pay you now for the investigation and then come back and collect it?
When you come back, it'll be fine.
Oh, great.
All right then, I'll leave that here. I hope you have a great day, and I will see you later.
Thank you. See you soon.
Wait a
Likewise.
minute.
Yeah.
Quick point. Twitch has mentioned that it is a little difficult to understand you.
Oh, well, that's okay. That's that's intentional in this case, unlike in other cases.
If you want the full version with subtitles.
All right, exactly. Pay, become a premium subscriber. this
Yes, for our art.
the other side of this conversation is available to our premium users.
Hopefully it was actually clear enough from the way we were responding.
I mean, at
And
least
if
for you.
anything is still unclear, just smile and nod.
But as I said, sometimes the viewers hear things differently than us because we hear it directly through Zoom, and the audio is fine there
True.
always. All right, cool. So, do you go out of the shop, or do you have anything else you want to do there?
I don't have anything I want to do there.
Cool. So you step out, and what is going to be your next stop?
Let's try and take care of Wilk.
How? When you say take care, you don't mean like in a mafia way.
No, not. Of course not. No, I'm thinking. Well, from what she was saying last night, she was scared to go to a temple. Let's just escort her to a temple and help her overcome her fear, and maybe we'll, shop around, find someone who worships the gods who sent her here, and then, as they say where I'm from, Nobble's your uncle.
Does it have to be so you said a temple. Is it any temple, or is there a specific temple?
Well, it could be any temple, but we do know that she was sent by 3 specific gods. The one of kilts and the one of itching the one of dances. Does anyone else remember the things that the gods did?
Their names are
No
Bolo, Redite, and Een. The names of the three gods, the pantheon.
Bolo, Radite, and Een. Those gods we've all heard of.
I feel like there was one about kilts.
Right, me too. Let's. Are we up for that? I think it's been
Yes,
nice
let's
having
go to
someone
the
around.
Temple District.
It's been nice having someone around with some healing assistance, but I kind of feel for some reason something sort of switched in me in the last couple of hours, and I feel like Atlas is a little bit stronger now, and I'm not so worried about emergency healing. I'll just stand behind
I'm
them.
much stronger than I was before. So much
Excellent.
stronger.
Right, let's go pick up Wilk and take him to the Temple District.
All right. So you pick her up from the inn, and you go to the Temple District, which is just a small little place, cramped between the Berberbs, Banner Hill, and a third. What is going to be and the middle ground, like between the three different districts. It's like a little. A trapeze-shaped area with a few temples in it. There's not a lot of them, but definitely a few for different gods, and each one is designed differently. And like some of them try to be big, opulent, and pretty, and some of them are much smaller and seem more like functional buildings with people actually living in them.
Wilk, how are you feeling?
Concerned and unsure, apprehensive, and anxious, afraid.
Okay. Oh, that's quite it's a big old list. Looking at these temples, do you happen to recognize any of the symbology of them?
Oh.
Is there one that speaks to you or looks familiar?
Well, even yesterday, I recognized them from afar. You see, you can recognize them quite easily. She points at a group of three buildings, who are one right next to each other. There's a little square in the middle with some benches and trees that cast shade, and you can sit down. And some people seem to be hanging out there. And the three buildings around look very different from one another. One is a square building, just like 2 floors, with complete, except for the windows and the doors, the big doors in the front. There's actually no other feature or decoration on this building. Another one is like a the doors. There's not even like doors. It's like 2 big, huge double doors that are open, usually constantly open, and they inside you can see a large area with lots of people. There's lots of sounds, a lot of activity from there, and you can see some like sport going on. It's like a dojo of some sort in this one. And the third one is a big theater. An open-air theater. It's not even underneath there's some rooms. There's some place you can go in and which is probably the lodging of the priests, but it's actually a big open-air theater.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so these are 3 buildings, and she points at them and she says, even from afar I recognized, these are the temples of Bolo, Redite, and Een.
And
So-
which one do you like best?
Oh, I don't know. I'm... Do I have to choose?
No, but well, we have to go to one first, right? So which one do you want to go to first?
Let's go to the nearest one. And she points at the one that happens to be the theater.
I mean, I'm very much in favor of this, and I think we start walking in that direction. But I also want to know, why are you afraid of going to a temple of your gods?
Well, all I've ever known is trying to serve them, but then I've failed so many times. I think I've made some progress because I was able to help you, right? I helped you quite a few times on the way, but I feel like I'm just starting out and just beginning. I'm not yet good follower of them, and I'm
Right.
afraid that I'll meet all these priests, all these important people, and I just won't be as good as they are.
Well, I'm gonna be honest, Wilk. You might not be as good as they are. But like you said, you're just starting out, and hopefully they'll help teach you. I mean, I feel like on the journey, we've all taught you something. Probably Marigold more than the rest of us, since you spent the most time, on the cart.
That's right.
And isn't it time that, well, you said they sent you, but isn't it time to find out what to do next? Or even find your own quest, your own friends?
Yes, her back straightens. She stands up more straight than you usually see her. She usually hunches a little bit, tries to keep herself small, as if to stay out of sight. But now she stands a little bit taller, a little bit prouder, and says, yes, I have nothing to be ashamed of. I went on adventures. I was an important part of this group through many, many adventures. I did so much things for you.
Right.
Great.
And this does seem to be the place, where one could learn how to serve the gods better. So I'm sure they have a lot of people coming in who are new to this and are unsure of their, path, but they will teach you probably, maybe.
So
And you'll learn more about you, and they'll feed you your favorite things, and maybe you can heal people.
So at this point, you get to the theater. It's a large construction which has a stage that's just a little bit up off the ground, just about one floor up, and then the seats are the rest of the building, or are the top of the rest of the building, and it's an open air theater, which means that the building gets taller and taller the farther back into the audience you get, and then whatever room and storage there is for people to live in or to keep their stuff is just the room that's underneath the stage and underneath the seats on the other side of the building. There's many people. It looks like they're having a rehearsal, and the rehearsal contains a lot of laughing and joking around and brainstorming ideas. It seems like they're not doing something particularly serious or scripted right now. And many of them, it seems like they're mostly men who are wearing kilts, and not much except for that. That's most of the clergy in this temple is men wearing kilts.
All right,
one of them.
Let's approach.
Yeah, so one of them notices you and climbs down from the stage down to ground level, and meets you there and says, "Yeah, how can I help you? Have you come here to schedule a show?"
Hi, my name is Trisisterus, and we are the Agents of Chaos, and we're here to bring Wilk.
Right. What's Wilk?
This is Wilk.
Wilk's who?
All right. Wilk has shrunk down a little bit again as soon as this guy approached you.
I'll tell you a little bit about Wilk. You see, Wilk is a messenger from the gods, from Bolo and Redite and Een, and has been traveling the world, learning to do her god's wills.
Well, no one's a messenger from all three. Which one is she a messenger of?
Oh, all three.
Yeah, just because you haven't met one before that was all three doesn't mean that she's not all three.
I mean, I've never
She's
heard
special.
anything like that, and it seems fake. So,
Can we speak to your manager, please?
manager? Oh,
Yes.
Right.
You,
Or your manager's manager.
you mean the director?
Yes, please.
Yes.
All right, sure. So he climbs back up, and then
That's quite clever, because director is both the word you'd use for someone in charge of a business and also of a play.
the director climbs down a little after. He's an older man, a little less. The previous one was like buff and athletic. This one is just like a regular.
As he comes down the stairs, he's like, his kilt is sort of flailing, and we're all like, oh, because we're seeing a little more than we want to.
Definitely,
Speak
and
for
he doesn't
yourself.
seem to mind at all. He doesn't seem
Grevel
to.
is seeing a little more than he wants to.
Yeah, he doesn't
Just
care.
is too high up.
He
and
absolutely
not, I have
doesn't
a feeling
care.
not allowed to go down.
He hops down the last couple of stairs. He walks confidently towards you, even though he's a little older. He still seems to be completely healthy and virile. And though he talks to you, he does scratch a lot all over his body. And he says, "Yeah."
Ew.
Come on, Wilk. I think you can.
Hello,
step
my
up a
name
little.
is Aklis Darkmoor, and these are my colleagues, and this is Wilk. Wilk is a messenger from your god. She has fulfilled her divine purpose of delivering this message to us, and now she seeks a new purpose.
Mm-hmm.
And we thought perhaps she could find a place in this temple to live here and worship your god and do whatever it is you do.
Right. So she was a messenger from Een.
That's right.
Yes.
Okay. And I mean, you wanna he turns to Wilk. You wanna live here? Live with us? Become priests of Een? Like a priest of Een, like us? And she says, and she starts looking at you. Her eyes dart between the three of you, unsure of what to answer that exactly.
I mean, Wilk, you said you wanted training. I don't know. Priests can train you. I don't know if these are the right priests, but, a messenger of all three gods, you should probably learn from all three.
So should I say yes? Are they the right choice?
Well, the first choice, and then you'll also get the other two. No, learn from all three. Learn three. If you're a messenger from three gods.
Oh. Okay. Yeah, sure. They'll let me go to other temples and learn other things, right? They seem to be in the same area. So
I mean,
Won't you?
If they give you any trouble, just give us a call.
So Triss, you were asking the director.
Yes.
He didn't really hear this conversation exactly in detail. So do you repeat this question in full? Because he doesn't understand what "won't you" means.
Won't you? Triss now thinks he's a little deaf. Won't you let Wilk go train at the other two temples too? Because she's of all of them and not just of one of them.
Definitely not. Bolo, Redite, and Een are mortal enemies, and we do not cooperate with their priests.
Wilk, did you know that these gods were mortal? How could they be mortal enemies if they're immortal?
Immortal enemies, maybe.
Abmortal?
Haha. Very well done. Yes, they're immortal enemies. Eternal enemies in the field of the gods, up in the skies where they frolic.
So there's not one thing that all three of them agree on.
Not one.
Wilk?
Were you aware of this?
No, it definitely doesn't feel that way. Doesn't feel like they're enemies.
What does it feel like?
It feels like they're all talking to me. In their voices.
What are they saying? Are they asking you to unite the temples? That's probably it.
Well, when I was praying along the way, like Aklis suggested, Aklis and Grubble said that I should. I asked them how to help you best, and they told me to do the thing that I can do and that you cannot do. Because if I try to do your thing, then I'll just do it worse. But if I try to do my thing, then that will maybe help you. And that's when I started being able to heal you when I touched you. And do some other things. Remember?
So, Mr. Priest Director, does your god ever tell you to do the thing that you're good at?
To do the thing that we're good at?
Yes.
No, not really. We become good at the things that Ian values. Ian is the god of dramedy, so we put up plays.
Okay. Well, never mind. I thought I had a bright idea.
Oh. Well, okay. Anyway, I need to get back. So you're gonna become a priest? You wanna start the training? We usually only accept young men because,
Why?
well,
That's
Ian,
sexist.
I don't think it is. Ian is the god of men in kilts, among other things. So, you know,
What about women in kilts?
we have some women if they're willing to play the part of men.
Oh.
Boo.
Wilk, are you willing to play the part of a man?
If that's what it takes, yes.
I'm not sure, you guys. I'm not sure this guy is running. Maybe there's some other Temple of Ian somewhere else that's a bit more open-minded. Should we try Radite or Bolo?
Yes. Thank you for your time, Mr. Director. We
'Cause-
might be back later.
Because you weren't properly welcoming, we're gonna go visit the temples of your immortal enemies that happen to be right next door.
What? Pah! Rubbish, I say, rubbish! If that's where you want to go, maybe that's going to be the place for you. Utter failures. And he turns
That's
around, starts climbing.
Kind of you to say. I'm glad we're failures by your standards.
All right. What's going to be your next stop? Which one of the other two temples?
I'm guessing Radite is the next one.
Radite is the big dojo with the open doors and the people inside in physical activity of some sort.
Shall we? So how's Wilk feeling after that? How does Wilk look?
She's very confused. She as soon as you get far enough from the Temple of Ian, she looks at the three of you and she says, I wasn't aware of the fact that I'm going to have to choose.
No, neither were we.
Why would they
You
cooperate?
shouldn't have to choose.
Why
You
would...
shouldn't settle, Wilk.
But then they're gonna make me choose, right? If they're mortal enemies.
Well, if you wish to join one of the temples, yes, but perhaps you can start your own temple.
Huh, who would want to join me? I know next to nothing.
Well, these temples seem to be preaching messages of hatred and enmity between gods, whereas I think you could preach a message of love and cooperation, and I think that's a good thing for people.
Well, it's all just fantasy though, because I can't start a temple. I don't have even a place to live in. Where would I talk to people? Where would I even meet people?
Right, yeah, accommodation might be, regular place to live. I still feel like maybe that guy was mean and the other guys might not say such nasty things about the other two gods.
It's worth a shot.
Yes.
The Temple of Ian is several large...
Radite?
Of Radite, sorry. Is several large, roughly circular floors on top of each other. The biggest one, the ground floor, is very tall. It's like 5 meters tall. The ceiling above your heads. You go in, there's immediately a lot of... Woo!
Yeah!
We have somebody who redeemed the order symbol.
Thank you, Implaf.
I was actually really stopping myself from filling in some details that you might have been missing last week, because you were wondering and trying to remember where you know a specific symbol that you saw in the game from, and it was exactly this one. So I don't know if you figured it out by yourself.
Where did we see it? I don't remember
On
anything.
It was on the back of the eyes
on the
pad.
eyes
Whoever
pad.
built the eyes pad had the
Yeah.
symbol of order. But
was-
we, the players, like Grebel, Triss, and Ackless, haven't just seen an order symbol appear on the screen or hear a loud ding-a-ling. So it's still a mystery to
Yeah, well,
characters.
yeah. I don't believe in that. If you figured it out, you figured it out. You
Oh,
will-
I figured it out last week.
Oh, sure. So if you figure it out,
Sorry.
figure it out. Or, I mean, it's your choice.
Don't forget, Matt/Grabble is highly educated.
It's true. It's true.
Oh, thank you.
Formally
It's a compliment to me, the
educated,
person, me.
and just actually became slightly more intelligent since this afternoon. Just suddenly got a bump in intelligence.
That's right.
Cool. So next time you have to roll, you'll get to choose your preferred result from the order from the chaos table among the first 7 lines of it.
Okay, guys. Somehow, I feel like we're going to have more success at the Temple of Radite. I think we should persuade person in charge, either this one or Bolo. We should persuade them to let Wilk study, and then when Wilk's done studying, to let her go study at the others.
I think we should persuade someone to give Wilk somewhere to stay so she can study but not have to be part of anything.
Okay.
Okay,
Uh,
we need to find a wealthy person who will put Wilk up.
Well, what does Atlas think?
I don't care. Well, perhaps it's best if Wilk made that choice to either join one of the temples or start her own. And if Wilk, if you do decide to start your own temple, I suppose we should find you some patron.
Right, I'm up for that. Wilk, what do you think?
Actually, sounds like the best option.
I agree. I mean, we didn't even see the other few temples, but I already agree.
Redite's temple, you just walked in, so I will describe what you're seeing. It seems like people are busy in any of several different kinds of activities. They seem to be doing sports, physical training, like weightlifting and chin-ups, and they do it in like groups and squads, and they have like people like the trainers are really encouraging them with
Sounds
loud.
like a place that athleticism
I was
loves.
just thinking
Oh,
the
yeah.
same thing,
Right,
that
he would-
athleticism
he would
have
probably
loved
feel
this.
right at home there. And then around, there's people who are playing Scrabble. They're just busy playing Scrabble in their own corner. That's like the one quiet corner in the room, even though it's like one huge dojo, so there's noise echoing from the walls everywhere. And in the middle of the room, there's people who are choreographing a dance. They're dancing together. And then the thing is that in all parts of this room and all the different activities that they do, even the ones that are eating and the little tables with the food to the side, or if they're just reading or teaching each other some of the writings of Radite, it seems like a lot of them are looking to start a fight. They keep getting in each other's faces. They keep yelling. Everything they say is like, and he yells and screams. They use like very loaded like language, like what you're gonna do about it, and look like these sentences that seem to be like designed to start fights between
Hey,
them.
who you looking at? I'm sorry, I was just admiring the temple. You, hey, you in the chainmail, what? Yeah, yeah,
Yes.
oh.
Hey, why you bothering the guests? Come on, lay off the guest, man.
Look, they come in our place and they don't want to have a. They don't introduce themselves. They don't get an order. They don't take a number.
What's it to
They're
you? They're
walking
guests.
in here. They're walking in here.
And we are here. It's our space.
Yeah, well, Lay off him! Like he goes like really close to your face, and
You make me lay off him, and then he starts punching the one who told him.
and
to
it's a fight. It's the two of them, and then a third one joins.
Oh yeah, the third one just like comes in like the crane, like
Yes. And they
you
all
just-
seem to be very capable pugilists, martial artists, like different. They're very athletic and physical.
You just hear a voice, and you see someone running across the room in like new initiate robes, as though they've just arrived, and they leap towards the fight, and they just shout, "It's my bow!"
They dive into the fight.
and then you just see all the dancers that were choreographing a dance. They just stop and they stare, and then they start stalking towards and they start mimicking the fight movements at one another in this
Now,
slow
actually,
choreographed,
while
like,
all this is
dance.
happening, right in front of you, like very close to you,
Yeah, really close.
some kind of effect is taking place, and instead of seeing a large fight, a melee between, by this time, like 15 people and more are joining, it starts the entire space where the fight is taking place starts filling up with haze, and it becomes a grayish white cloud where sometimes you can see one person's leg or head
Oh,
just, like,
okay.
pop out for a second and then back in, but mostly you just hear the sounds of a fight that seems to include like 100 people in yells and screams and punches.
I
And at least
honestly thought you were
one
building
bicycle
towards-
horn going inside this fight.
I honestly thought you were building towards divine magic, but no.
Oh, it's definitely divine magic. You know to recognize divine magic when you see it, and it's magic that's taking place. It's a big ritual that they're all a part of right now, this big fight. But you can't see the details in the fight anymore. And Wilk looks at you and says, "Not here."
Okay, right.
Fair enough.
Do you bother to visit the third building? Because it's very different from the other two, as I've mentioned.
Chris says yes.
I mean, I'm on Aklus's shoulders, so ultimately I will
Yes,
be
if
trained.
Wilk doesn't mind, let's give it a visit.
So,
Wilk, or do you think we should just try and find you a patron?
I mean, it kind of feels pointless, but I'm also curious to know
Okay.
what they're gonna be like.
Let's go.
Pointless or pointillist? That is the question.
All right. So you go into the third building, which is it's just much more like a normal apartment building. There's a little hallway, and it leads to a corridor that opens to different rooms. And somebody's there in the sitting on a little simple chair, wearing very simple, featureless woolen robes. She gets up and she looks at you and she says, please wipe the dirt off your feet before you come in. And she points at a mat at the
Oh, of
The
course,
entrance.
of course. I
I-
wipe my feet.
Chris looks down at themselves and then back
No
up
feet.
it.
I cast my bubble bath spell on my own shoes and on Wilk's.
Oh, that's very nice. So that means that you're spotless. All the dirt gets washed away and thrown out of the door. She looks at you and she seems to be a little bit unhappy that you did such a good job cleaning your boots, but she has nothing else to say about that. So she says, "Wait here, please. Do not venture away from this spot by yourselves. I need to get the matron." And she walks away. There's sounds of mumbling of people talking in hushed voices from the rooms. You can't see them. Some of the doors are slightly open, and from one of the rooms you suddenly hear snap, a whip crack, and somebody going, "Oh!" in pain, and then another one, "Ah!"
Face. Oh, and Jada's.
I have
Tris.
a question because now I need to ask: what was she wearing, and what did she look like? Was there latex involved?
A very simple wool robe, nothing really impressive, and the hair just pulled back. Nothing, yeah.
Oh, so we're more like Handmaiden's Tale.
So the
I
matron.
sure hope they have safe words.
The matron appears. Her hair is gray and collected in a neat bun, and she wears exactly the same robe. There's no symbols or decorations at all, and she walks right at you and she says, "You moved. This is not where she left you." She points to the priestess who met you before.
Wait, I didn't. Did the floor move? I didn't. Hello?
I'm sorry. I went closer to Atlas's neck.
You're very fancy. What do you need all these fancy clothes for?
Well,
Immediately trying to strip them down.
that's. I mean, I could answer your questions, but we were here to ask questions.
All right, go
Also,
ahead.
this
Ask.
isn't my usual attire. My clothes are going through some I don't know.
Changes.
Refurbishment.
Yes.
Do you get into a lot of fights?
Yes.
Well, that's not very chaste, is it?
Isn't it?
We do get chased.
You get chased.
We get chased.
Do you think you're clever? Your clever jokes? You think I'm gonna appreciate your clever jokes?
I love my clever jokes.
Oh, some people really do appreciate them.
I've been hearing that we're punny.
All right. So, what were your questions? What do you want to know?
Well, so first off, do you believe that someone can be a messenger from Bolo, Radite, and Eve?
Impossible! Absolutely, completely impossible.
Okay. Secondly, do you believe that someone can study here to study the ways of Bolo, and then leave and go study some other temples' methods?
Other temples? What for?
Oh, just for, the advancement of knowledge and
Friends.
Advancement where? Where do you need to advance knowledge? Why don't you just stay where you are, where Bolo has put you on this earth?
Oh, I don't like this one. I think I like this one the least.
Wilk, do you have any questions?
So you don't like the other two gods, Redite and Een? It's not that we don't like them, it's that everyone who follows them somehow seems to be a too loud fool. Each one with their own little problems and fights, and they think it's everybody's business but their own. So, yeah, no, we don't like their followers, and we don't like to get anywhere near them. Do you like soup? And Wilk says, I've never had any soup. I've heard of it. I don't know how it is. And the matron says, all right, you'll have a lot of soup if you stay here.
I think perhaps if Wilk doesn't have any more questions, then we should leave and find some other place.
All right. Wilk doesn't have any more questions and is happy to leave with you. It's not it's not very she doesn't feel welcome in any of these places, and when you walk out, the question now is, where are you planning to put her? With whom or in which location? Yes, Tris.
Will,
Yes.
are you positive that these are the gods that talk in your head?
I mean, I know it. I know it in my heart.
But then, are these temples, when you walked in, did it feel like the gods?
Did it feel like the gods? That's a good question.
What do
It's a
gods
great
feel
question.
like?
Well, every god feels different.
She turns around and looks at the three buildings, who are now you're far enough away to see them all together from about 100 meters away. And she concentrates for a second. You look at these three temples with her, hoping to gain some kind of sign, and all of a sudden, all at once, you see all three buildings crumble and fall, break apart to pieces.
What?
With people on the stage, on the elevated stage, on the seats, on the theater, being thrown violently away on the ground. People in the dojo, behind the open doors, you can see them being crushed under the rubble and the ruins. And in the building, people barely running out from Bolo's temple, the little square building. You hear Wilk gasp. She obviously is seeing the same thing as you are, but around you, people who are walking in the street towards and away from the temples don't seem to be seeing any of that. There is no response at all from anyone. You blink a couple more times to make sure that you're really seeing what you're seeing, and it's all gone. The buildings are still standing upright, still whole. No cracks or any signs on them that anything bad happened or is going to.
I understand, Wilk.
I don't have a clue what just happened. So, Triss, Wilk, explanation would be welcome.
Well, I felt them. It was the same feeling I had when I was sent down to meet you. I knew that I had to meet you, to go with you and do something, but I didn't know what. And I felt the same thing now. There's something important I need to do.
You have a new purpose?
Needs to bring them down.
Oh, you
People
think that's the
save
message?
them.
Maybe so, yes.
I mean, that's just sort of what I think. But maybe it's wrong. Maybe it's right.
Okay.
Well,
So now she looks at you expectantly. Now she seems suddenly a lot more alive, filled with purpose as she is, even not being 100% completely sure what that purpose is. Even just knowing that there is one is making her a lot more sure that she needs to stay here. But then the question still remains, where do you leave her when you leave the city? With whom are you going to leave her, and where?
Will,
Or-
have you ever considered learning a trade, or, having any sort of profession?
You
I
ever wanted to go antiquing?
I can. If you think that's a good idea.
I don't know. I mean, I think I'm still kind of dealing with what I saw. It wasn't pleasant, but I think you have a purpose, and I think that's what you've been spending your whole time with us trying to find. And so I think it's great that you have it. We just need to find, this practical concern is the problem. Could you, how easy do you find it to heal these days? Could you maybe become a healer to support yourself?
A healer. That could work. Yes. Can I maybe make like a little shop, like all the people that you visited in the last 2 days?
Yeah.
Maybe
think
that
so.
could be my trade.
And
I
ill
wouldn't-
people would come and visit you, and you would help them feel better.
Yes, that
That's
could work.
nice.
All right.
I think we need to try and find a way to make that happen.
Or just give us some money and go the fuck away.
Well, it's true. We've got. Look, I'm still counting some of your money, Atlas. If you'd like me to hand over a sufficient sum that you think will help set up a healing shop, and we could just call in next time we're in town and see how you're doing.
She would accept it and say thank you, and of course promise that next time you're here, she will find her purpose and make great progress to getting it. Is this the plan that you're all agreeing on, to help to give her some money to get a place set up?
I think so.
Triss
Yeah, I
just
think
wants
that's a
Wilk to
good-
be happy,
Mm-hmm.
but also for Atlas to be happy, and Atlas isn't going to be happy as long as Wilk is still there.
All right. How much money do you give her?
So, in terms of the money I'm carrying of Aklis's family treasure, the biggest bit I have left is 1d4 mithium.
All right.
How much is that worth? Like, what would 1d4 mithium buy?
That would allow her to rent her own place for quite a while, live off that money, and buy equipment, and have some left over beyond
So,
that.
do we feel like going down to platinum? Platinum is our highest. We've got D12 platinum, so we've still got lots of money.
I also have money.
So I
Let
kind
me
of feel
see
like
what I have. Just a sec.
I mean, mithium is a lot.
mithium is a lot.
Oh,
you-
I have gold and electrum.
I have Electrum.
But I mean, I'm carrying the fortune in this little. It's like a little spherical like vase, and when I put my hand in, it goes like way deeper. And
Oh, like
I've
Mary
got,
Poppins bag.
yeah.
Love it.
But
Mary
it's only,
Poppins
but it won't
changers.
go any wider than this. So nothing can go in it that's bigger than this in width. But I've separated the money into lots of little bags inside there. So I mean, we could
Wait,
hand
Matt,
over
sorry, inside her?
inside the
Okay,
bag.
I heard her.
Well.
You just
So
hear
what do
what
we
you
think?
want.
Do you always platinum smarter here?
All right, platinum could definitely work. It would mean she needs to, take some more careful steps and like measure her choices of exactly where to set up the shop, how nice a part of town she wants to be in. But that definitely could still be enough. How much platinum do you have?
We have a D12 of platinum.
So take it down to a D8.
Okay.
All right, let's do
Wilk, does this make you happy?
Honestly, knowing that I have something to stay in town for makes me happy. And this, and she points at the bags of platinum coins you just handed her. This just allows me to do that. So thank you very much to all of you.
And perhaps your shop can be, a safe haven for people who do not conform to the temple's teachings. People
Yes.
who want to worship more than one god, or perhaps not fight all the time, or
Exactly.
Tell people off.
chastise people, or do theater. And yes, your shop can be a place of, inter-religious something.
That
And
is
we'll bring
what I'll do.
Marigold for visits, and we'll come back.
Oh, we'll definitely be back to see how you're doing. Be careful with that money. Don't go waving it around everywhere.
All right, she stows it away under her robes, and she says goodbye. She hugs you, Grubble.
I hug her back.
And she gives Aklis like a tap on the arm, unsure exactly of what to do.
I shake her hand.
Yeah, okay, cool. So she shakes it back. Does it have a
Tris
strong...
reaches over and like sort of extends and pats Wilk on the head.
And she pats you back, and she walks away to find her own path.
But how will we find her when we get back into town?
Well, you'll have to find where she set up shop.
Wait,
I feel
Wilk.
like it's
She won't know yet where she's going to set up shop.
No, of course, but Wilk, when you do find a place, how about you leave word with either Herman and Honey or Timothy, Guardsman, our friend. Let someone know where you are so that we can find you when we get back into town.
All right, she'll do that.
Good.
Okay. So,
To the palace to meet Trillium.
so the plan with Drillium was to go out for a drink.
Yeah.
And
See
I
if we
think...
can get both Trillium and Timothy to
and
come out for a
Timothy,
drink.
yeah. So Drillium is in the palace, lives in his own little room that they gave him. Even the little room in the palace is a nice room, not very big, but it's a nice place to live in, especially since
For
in the
the-
palace.
For
all
the
of-
newer fans, could you give a graphic description of how Drillium looks?
So the way that he
What's he
looks-
wearing?
He's been given clothes, more
Wait,
like...
he's not wearing a one-piece skin suit?
So he has his he's not wearing the tights anymore, like the one piece. No, he's wearing local clothes. So it's pants and a shirt and a jacket, and it's very fancy. It's very mostly white with some highlights in blue and purple, but it's mostly very clean, bright white. That's obviously made of very high quality silk. His shirt, his jacket has a collar, a decorated like collar and puffy sleeves. He looks like a prince from on a diplomatic mission, wearing his best outfit, and the pants are still quite tight. He's very happy to see you, and I think in the interest of getting as much roleplay done as possible, we'll say that you went to the palace and Timothy got drilling for you. And about half an hour later, you're sitting in a short hop from home, the inn where they apparently forgot that they threw you away last time because they allow you to get in. And
there's a little hornet barman just going.
Exactly.
And you see Hornetta, the wasp barmaid, sort of just sigh, but it's not the sigh of someone who's seen someone she's thrown out of a bar. It's more the sigh of someone who's been forced to talk to people.
Yeah, it's the same sigh that she sighs at that exact hour every day.
Well, what would you like?
I think honeymead.
Oh, are you sure? It is very powerful.
Well, it was very powerful last time, and I had a lovely night. Well, I did, and I didn't. It was nostalgic.
You may have one, and then you may go. But it is not good to have more or mix. But fine.
Not more.
And
or
she
mix, all right.
pours a honeymead.
I'll drink it slowly then, everyone. Don't worry.
And the honeymead comes in like this little, almost like, it's just smaller than a thimble. It looks like a shot glass, but it's like bright gold.
Do you have anything stronger, some liquor or?
Well, I have a dark beer, and I have a black, sort of. Well, if you drink it, you might have hallucinations, or you might die, or you might just be fine. It might just be sober. It is more of a on the rocks kind of thing.
I see.
Oh, and of course we have rum.
Sorry, what do you have?
Rum.
Oh, some rum would be nice. Sure, let's do that.
William, Timothy, we're buying. What would you like?
Oh, well, what's strong?
Well,
What hits you hard?
Is that William asking? Because presumably Timothy's
asking?
been here all the time.
Wait, Timothy, did you ask Drillium or Timothy?
I asked both of them. I said we're buying to both of them.
Oh, okay, so Timothy's the one who
will know what he
answers.
wants to drink because Timothy drinks it all the time. But Drillium might not know.
I think Tim wants to get something powerful, something serious for today.
okay, so meanwhile, the barmaid has been pouring like a number of different bottles into what is basically a tiki glass, and there's a little straw that's spiraling, and she pushes it very expertly towards Aklis.
Thank you.
Yes, well, so I am sorry, Tim. You want something strong? Are
Yeah.
you not on shift tomorrow?
I have the feeling I'll be okay. I have the rest of the day off, and tomorrow I'll manage.
Okay.
I think maybe, based on what I see in Twitch chat, I think maybe then for Drillium what we should get is absinthe because of abs and also sin.
Absolument.
And
Would you like one as well, Tim?
Yeah, that's what Tim will have as well.
Okay, so with like great ceremony, Hornetta pulls a bottle off of the shelf, and there seems to be smoke inside of it, just roiling. And she takes two very small shot glasses and shakes the bottle, and you hear almost a buzzing like bees or wasps or hornets.
The barman goes past.
Don't drink bees.
And then with her, well, I don't know, with her mandibles? Do wasps have teeth? I have no idea. Anyway, she's sort of like this it looks very fancy in French. It's this like beautiful gesture. But she takes this like cork out of her mouth and blows smoke into each one of the glasses, and then very quickly and carefully puts the cork back inside and pushes them to us and goes, Tim, you know that drill. Drink quickly.
All right. Yeah, they grab their drinks. You all sit down.
How much so that I can get the payment done?
Pay silver for the whole thing.
Hey, I did not lose silver.
Where are we? Okay, yeah. Cool.
Great. So we've got our drinks. We find a table. I imagine Tim and Drillium drink theirs very, very quickly.
Yeah, they do, and it's not the first for Tim, but for Drillium it is drinking something this powerful. And they are immediately... Oh, do you want to describe what happens, Jada? Yeah?
Well, I just wanted to ask, do you think the smoke, because that's what happens, do you think that the puffs, the little tendrils of smoke will come out of their noses?
Ooh, okay. So for the rest of the conversation, whenever they speak,
Yes.
there's smoke coming out.
I was imagining like in Who Framed Roger Rabbit when he drinks alcohol.
Yeah, and their eyes like roll back a little bit,
Yeah.
and then smoke comes out of his ears. That was also where it was going. But yeah, it's either, I feel like for Tim, it probably comes out of his nose because he's used to it. You know, like people who smoke and then learn how to blow smoke expertly out of their nose.
Yeah.
But exactly. But for Drillium, especially if he's not used to it, it's almost like they almost cough out, but it's not quite good enough for it to be like little smoke rings.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah, so they're drunk. They're far down the road. Much like
And Triss gets on the table, FYI, and is just playing with the smoke.
yeah.
Will probably not be any part of this conversation, but it'll be interesting to see if the smoke affects.
So what's up? What have you been up to, Drillium asked.
Well, I kind of wanted to ask you, Drillium, because you came back from the future to save the world.
Mm-hmm.
You wanted to go straight to a leader. You did that, and now you seem to be sitting around in a palace. I just wanted to know, is everything going well, and are we all doomed? Are we doomed?
That's a good question.
Well,
yes.
it's not going well. Also,
We're doomed! We've bumbled it!
I don't know. Don't.
Actually, hasn't he bumbled it? We haven't done it.
Oh, we sent him to this place. We could have sent him to a different leader.
But how am I supposed to? Because they're not letting me meet the queen.
Oh.
Really?
Yes, there's always, she's off doing something else, and this dude, this man, who seems like he's owns the place, he's in charge of the whole thing. He keeps telling me if anything bad happens or is about to happen, he'll know, and then he'll come and he'll ask for help. But I don't think he knows everything he says he knows. I think he's just not believing me. That's what I think.
Well, we know of at least two other places where you can meet. They're also both female rulers.
Okay.
Maybe, I don't know. Maybe you could travel with us. I don't know what everyone else thinks.
Where?
Well,
of course
one
you're
is
welcome to travel with us. It's no bother at all.
one. There's a land called Ing, and the ruler of that land is called the Queen. The Queen of Ing.
All right.
And the other is there's this land that's kind of like an island, so it might be not that easy to get to, and it's called Gnome Anne's Land. And I thought maybe we could go and meet Gnome Anne.
No Man's Land?
Gnome
Gnome
Anne.
Anne's land.
No
Her
Man's
name's
Land?
Anne. She's in. Well, Either she's an island or she's a gnome. It's not entirely clear.
No man's land, but no man's land is usually where you're not allowed to go.
But it's just full of gnomes. And Anne.
Well, perhaps we are not allowed to go because we're not gnomes.
I don't know. I'm tired of queens and rulers and...
You've only met one and you didn't even meet them. You came all the way back here with a quest and you're giving up already?
No, I'm not giving up. It's exactly the opposite. I want to do something else. I want to do something.
What is it you want to do, Trillium?
I don't know.
Have you considered being a healer's assistant?
What? 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 But what if the world, every day I can wake up and the world will end and there'll be some terrible catastrophe and I don't even know what it is.
Well, yes, but that's always true. I mean, the world could end at any moment and we are all powerless to stop it.
No, but I need to
I'm gonna keep drinking.
But Trillium, what do you want?
I honestly just want to go back home.
Oh, to the future.
Well, yeah.
Don't you
I
have
mean,
to
if
live
you
through
wait
now?
long enough.
So I do need to go just find work somewhere, be a healer's assistant, and then in years and years I'll be back home. But then I won't have stopped the catastrophe and I'll be terribly old.
Trillium, did you ever tell us what the catastrophe is?
Don't think he did.
I'm a simple soldier. I
That's
haven't
right.
been told everything exactly. I'm not one of the scientists who were supposed to research it. What I know is that something happened that changed all the world at once. Everything changed. And then...
Well, I just had a thought. Because you said in the future, people speak Shorb.
Yeah.
So maybe the place where people speak Shorb is the center, or the place that's safe,
Wow.
or the place.
That's
No?
a clever idea.
Because almost no one speaks Shorb here.
Huh.
And then
That's
and then
nice.
one of the barmen, just one of the.
Grebel, what is he saying?
Oh, he was just saying that there's time for one more drink before last orders.
Oh, well, another one of those, please.
All right. So yeah, Trillium looks surprisingly at the bartender, and then he looks back at you, Grubble, and he says, "So where is it? Is it?"
We're sure the people who speak Shorb.
Yeah.
Oh, I know all about that.
Yes.
And I haven't.
You must.
No, they speak Shorb in this.
I mean,
my goodness! Anyone?
I have a suggestion.
Schwabian. In the Schwabian lands.
Schwabia in Schwabia.
Yeah.
And do you have anything to add, Ithamar?
I wanted to suggest that this is the language. This is the native language of the gnomes. This is what gnomes speak.
Oh, I see. And I thought it was the native language of, aka like that's what the French accent is what like they sound like when they're.
Oh, the
have
French
to
accent
speak
is a
common.
it's a Shorb accent. It's a Shorbian accent.
Yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
It's true. But
Makes
it's
sense.
the language of gnomes.
So the gnomes, as in Gnome Anne's land, is where they speak Shorb.
Maybe, yeah. I think that would be cool. Let's.
Yeah, Gnome Anne's land is where they speak Shorb.
So that's where I need to go.
It's an island.
Gnome Anne's land. It's an island.
Right, because Gnome Anne is an island.
Oh, look at that. Look at the guest. Hello, cat. Well, goodbye, cat. Where gnomes live and they speak Shorb. Oh my god. Perfect.
The the city is Swabia.
Swabia.
Nice.
Their main city is Swabia.
So we'll have to go down the river.
Just because I wanted to say Swabia, you never knew her.
So from here, that says no, and you've missed an M. From here, we've got to go downriver, follow the river all the way to the coast, and then get a boat out to no man's land.
All right, I'll do that right away. I'm not even gonna talk to that dude in the room in the palace. I'm just gonna go.
Julian, do you want help?
Sure.
I mean, last time we saw you, we were in the middle of another quest, but this time we've just got lots of potential quests and nothing we're in the middle of, you know?
Huh.
Besides, it's just imposters.
Sure. If you want to come help, I'll be happy to go with you. You know much more about this world and this kingdom than I do.
Oh, of course. I mean, if you are attempting to stop the end of the world, then I believe it is in all of our interests to join you.
I agree.
Good. So when do we leave?
Timothy, are you in?
Well, I work here. I have.
Yes, but you mentioned having doubts about your job and having a lot of feelings about, being a guardsman, and I thought perhaps, you were bored of this routine. But of course, if you feel like you belong here in EMAG, we will not.
Is Agnes gonna try to roll? Because we have the third. Agnes gonna try to roll to convince Timothy to come.
That's true. We have a role that we
I
haven't
have no
used.
vested interest in him coming or not, honestly.
But we have to. We're almost at the end, and we have to use our order roll somehow.
We have to use it for something. It's not
Either
gonna
that,
last.
or we need to jump real quickly and try to influence our man with the cauldron.
Oh yeah. Let's do that.
To
Can
do
we
what?
just maybe go back to while drunk?
Mhm.
Can we go back to Padlock and see what we can get out of this cauldron?
Okay, so
While
you
drunk.
suddenly one of you remembers the cauldron, and you all go, "Yes, now!"
Oh
You
God! The
bang on
perfect
table.
time.
You get up.
Oh, yes, let's
Julian,
go and
we'll see you
talk to
later.
Mr. Locke.
And you run out of the bar, run down the street all the way. It's actually not a long run because it's all in Banner Hill, and you run to Padlock's shop. The rug, the fancy carpet doesn't roll fast enough for you as you're running past
I
it.
feel like we probably stumble on it.
Yeah, you probably stumble on it. The tables can't move away from you quickly enough, and you bang and against them, hit them, and send some probably priceless artifacts tumbling down on the floor, making a lot of noise. And Padlock, who
Last time those got out of my way.
lying back against the wall, straightens up and goes, "You have come back."
Hello,
Yes.
yes. Have you found out anything interesting about this cauldron?
This is what this cauldron does. Listen up. It's quite a few powers that it has.
Oh, I might repeat what you say after you say it, just to make sure I've understood it.
When you eat animal parts that have been cooked in the cauldron, you will gain their powers.
Right, so like you said before, if you eat animal parts from the cauldron, you gain their powers of the animals.
But it will only last until you eat anything else.
Okay, so if we eat something else, it's gone, right?
Yes. Also, it is a transmutation, a physical transmutation, which will probably be noticeable to people around you.
Oh, we look totally different if we drink it. Like we look like the animal you're saying.
Yes.
Oh well.
Interesting.
Something else it can do, another power. This cauldron can, well, I don't think it can actually revive, but it can animate dead bodies.
It can animate dead bodies?
That makes sense considering what the witch was doing.
When you place a dead body inside it and it needs to fit entirely inside the cauldron.
I'll remind you that the cauldron is about this big. Can't fit a human or a humanoid body.
When you place a dead body, something that died, completely inside the cauldron, it will be animated and will be under the control of the person who animated it.
I didn't like that witch.
Yes.
It will also be mute. It won't be able to make a noise.
Oh, they won't be able to talk.
Yes. And the last thing that it can do is, if you know a special incantation, which is engraved in code on the bottom of the cauldron, you can make the perfect goulash soup.
What's a goulash?
It's like a type of ghoul, I think.
Is it like a soup you make with ghouls?
An ash.
Oh.
It is a meat stew.
Oh, it's a meat stew.
A
Never
hearty-
mind.
A hearty meat stew with some vegetables, traditionally.
Seems to be strangely named. That's all I'm saying.
Yes.
Grebel, Triss, do you have any interest in this artifact? Because I do not wish to cook animals or animate them.
No, I don't like ghouls.
Triss
Right.
is like not paying attention. They've climbed from your shoulder over to drunk Grebel, and they're just pulling on Grebel's hair like rings.
Triss is secondhand drunk.
Mr. Locke, would you be interested in purchasing this artifact from us?
Yes, it is quite unique. You do not see this kind of magical item around these parts. It was obviously made by someone who was not traditionally trained in magic.
Then I'd like to persuade him, perhaps with an order roll, to pay us more than he might previously think it was worth.
And
Sure.
to
So it's a
throw in an
charisma.
artifact that is useful to Aklis and not anti-death like this one.
Oh, to trade it for an artifact that's...
Oh.
I personally, I think it'd be more interesting to trade it. as
Oh,
a
yeah,
player.
me too. I'm up for that.
Sure.
Sure. So let me first of all show you the table that you're choosing from.
Cool. Oh, I see, for the Chaos Search.
For the Chaos Surge table, I'll show you down to 7. Do you see the 7 options you have?
Yeah.
Can you read it?
Oh, I don't think Twitch can. Twitch, I think, can only see. Oh yeah.
Twitch can see it clearly. So 7 is amazing. It's bam, you succeed and get double the desired effect.
Yep.
So
Son-
we get
7
2 super cool artifacts.
7 is exactly excellent.
That's
You
also
can-
what Twitch is saying, to choose a 7.
You
Yeah.
will get okay, cool. So Twitch can read it. That's good. So yeah, definitely that's the best option. 7 is actually the best.
So-
The best for
Because
you
it would mean 2 artifacts.
in all of the. I think.
I know we're kind of at the end of time. Maybe we could like put out an appeal to Twitch for some ideas and then come back at the start of the next session with what our artifacts are.
Wow.
Or wait, or didn't
alright.
you create a bunch of them with Twitch later?
We
Earlier?
have a bunch of artifacts of magic
Oh,
items, but
cool!
they,
Then we don't even need that. Twitch.
All right. You know what? You know what? Let's make it matter. Let's make it even cooler. You randomly bump into something, Aklis, and this is gonna be the ending of the episode. I'll just describe
Okay.
that thing that you found. That is, it draws your attention. It's something that you like aesthetically because it's deathy, like like Death Knights often seek, and it's when you get closer to it, when you approach it, walking between the tables that are moving away to clear a path to you to walk towards the one thing that you're interested in. Your scabbard, Shabard the Scabbard, starts vibrating like it often does when it has something to say. And when you draw Transformer, both of them exclaim in their own particular styles, breathlessly, excitedly exclaim that this is exactly the thing that they've been looking for. This is one other of the fabled artifacts, the
Hemlocks.
the regalia of Hemlock, the First Death Knight. It's a pair of gauntlets.
Ooh.
And these heavy gauntlets, heavy armored gauntlets, are they seem to be made of a material that's not exactly metallic. When you touch them, you feel the texture, and you move it around, and you check the how do you say that? Oh shit, I missed the word. Oh fuck. Never mind. You move it around a little bit and you check it out. You see that the material it feels a little bit different than metal. It feels like it's covered in some kind of stone, maybe, or something that's not exactly metallic in texture and in feeling. And finding out what it does is going to be extra effort, but it's not going to be very hard for you.
But didn't we get double the expected experience?
Or is he going to try and claim that one is
This
one
is
glove
your
and
result.
one's the other?
This is your amazingly awesome result for choosing
That's
7.
fine. It's pretty amazing.
Alright,
What
it's
do you
pretty
mean
awesome. Atlas
fine?
gets new stuff.
You found Hemlock's gauntlet.
What do they do?
When you put them on, your hands for a few seconds there, they take the aspect of two skeletal hands. They shrink down into the hands of like a skeleton, and you feel like you're holding at least some power over life and death in your hands when you're holding them. Exactly what they do I will describe to you a little later, and we'll say that on screen at the beginning of the next episode.
All right.
And
Hey, they're skeletal.
Amazing.
Closest I had.
Accessorizing like awesome.
And you walk out of the of Padlock's store after having randomly found one other of the legendary artifacts that Hemlock left behind. Now having to find one less item before you complete the entire regalia. I think.
Wait, does that count as a quest?
Yeah, does that mean we've completed 2 quests?
It's not a goal. You finished a goal when you found a purpose for Wilk, and you got her to stay in the city and do things on her own. So you have already 1 goal for level 6. You need a total of 6 of them, so you have 1 out of 6 goals right now.
Wasn't finding some of Hemlock's armor also a goal?
It says the rest.
It's definitely a goal, but that one was not enough effort to count as a goal. I'm pretty sure all the rest will count as goals, going out and finding them, and you know.
We will.
All right. Next episode, we're going to start while you're already on your way to adventure. We're not going to do any more bookkeeping and recounting things and talking to people and EMAG. I want you to be already with your plate armor, Atlas. You've taken it the next morning from Jack's Hammer. So you have the D10 plate armor and helmet, plus the cool gauntlets, which I will describe to you later on. And
Can I request we take a riverboat?
So you've chosen your next goal to go research.
We're going with Drillium towards
Yeah, we're helping Drillium.
towards No Man's Land. I want to take a riverboat down the river with Drillium.
So we're going to add that
So
as another
romantic.
goal. And that's going to be the next one that
A
you pursue.
riverboat built for 5.
And we'll start the next episode on the boat.
And Marigold, obviously.
That's why 5.
Oh, gotcha.
Cool. That was very cool. I want to say thank you very much. Wow, this was probably our longest or second longest episode ever. So thank you very much, everyone who joined. A lot of activity in chat. So thank you for everyone who participated. Thank you for Implafs for using again one of the commands. I really like it. It seems to be working really well. And thank you for our new follower, Albus Dumbledore 6969.
And also, I believe Monkus Bubbly.
Monkus Bubbly is not a new follower yet. If you want to become one,
Monkus.
go right ahead. That's your choice. and or anyone else who's watching us who wants to hit that follow button. That would be really cool and would support the channel. And as always, we're on Mondays and Saturdays at 9 Israel time, 7 in the UK, 2 Eastern time. Saturdays I run a game to you, the audience, where you make the choices for the hero. Join us for Terran's adventures. And on Mondays, same time and place, Questers of Yalpelor.
Yay!
Till the next time we meet, play hard, stay safe, and good night.